Howdy, y'all. Who remembers the Ancient Ruins Blockbuster? You know, the place you had to get off your ass and actually go to before we could rent movies with the click of a button from the comfort of our own couches. Man, what awful times. One of my fondest memories of the place was sneaking off into the adult comedy section and sneaking a couple glances at the horny teen movie covers. Around the 90s and early 2000s, these movie covers for teen movies began to get, pretty damn horny. I mean, you had naked girls and giant block letters reading unrated right across the front. And even as a kid, I knew if it was unrated, it was going to be a damn good time. The cover of these movies had a huge impression on my little kid mind, but I was never able to convince my parents to rent them. I grew up in a really strict home, and so these movies were absolutely forbidden. But at the age of 25, I'm finally going to get to experience these movies beyond the covers. So I compiled a list of 6 different movies that I was going to watch back to back. And all I gotta say, man, is my mind is mush. Until this week, I haven't seen any of these films. So over the last few days, I watched the first American Pie, the second American Pie, National Lampoon's Van Wilder, The New Guy, Out Cold, and Road Trip. I decided to start with what I know to be the standard for horny teen movies, the first American Pie. The plot of this movie is as simple as can be, but I'm too lazy to give my own synopsis of it, so I'll just let IMDb do the work for me. 4 teenage boys enter a pact to lose their virginity by prom night.
We'll make a stand. We will succeed.
About time!
We will get laid! Yes!
Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Couple of high school boys just need to get laid before prom night. But it's not that simple. There's one caveat.
It's gotta be valid consensual sex.
Well, shit. That's gonna make it real difficult, man. It's 1999 and we're high school boys. Way to ruin all the fun. Now, take note of that phrase, consensual sex, because it comes up a few times throughout these movies. So each of these 4 friends set off on their journey to get laid before prom night, each with their own unique strategy. Oz decides to join the choir team because he believes it's unmarked territory. Plus, he's an amazing singer.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Bop. Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo-Bop. Yeah, magic.
I mean, he fucking crushed that audition. So one of the choir girls, Heather, loved his Scooby-Doo-Boo, Scooby-Doo-Boop bopping so much that her and Oz actually started to date. So one of the other friends, Finch, has this master plan to spread rumors around the school that he has a huge cock.
My friends, they want to know, is it true? You know, that he's equipped?
His plan was working pretty well until one of their sort of friends, Stifler, decided to foil the whole thing by poisoning him with X-Lax or some sort of digestive aid.
And hold it.
Yeah, hard to watch, I know. For some reason, this genre of film loves excessive poop jokes. No joke, out of the 6 films I watched, every single one of them has some sort of insane poop joke. Kevin, unlike the other friends, has a girlfriend already, but apparently she's not going to put out unless he gives her an orgasm or tells her he loves her.
If you want to get her in the sack, just tell her you love her.
Kevin refuses to tell his girl that he loves her, so the only option he has is to make her O-face.
Kev.
So Jimbo, the main character of the film, literally has no fucking idea what he's doing. I mean, he ends up fucking an apple pie.
Oh, Jen? It's not what it looks like.
Then for some damn reason, this hot foreign exchange student wants to randomly fuck him for no reason. So Jimbo has this amazing idea to film and broadcast the thing to his friends, except for he fails and accidentally broadcast it to the entire school.
Looks like Jim addressed the email wrong.
What?
It went out to every mailbox in the East High directory. God, how juvenile.
Now, this scene, I swear, lasts a third of the movie. It was like the producers knew that it was a good joke and decided to just milk it as much as they could.
Did I miss anything?
No, you were just in time. Oh, this is incredible.
Which is the case for a lot of jokes throughout these films. This is high-key revenge porn, except for this poor girl did literally nothing wrong. So anyway, Jimbo does this ridiculous dance. Somehow this dance turns on the foreign exchange student Nadia, but Jimbo fucks it up and comes his pants twice in a row.
Jim?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Now, if you think that Nadia is upset about him coming himself twice in a row, wait till you find out how mad she is when she finds out you secretly broadcasted her to the entire school. She's going to be so pissed. Except, she's not pissed at all. In fact, she's so not pissed about this that the entire American Pie 2 plot is about her coming back from Germany or somewhere in Europe just to visit Jimbo's dumbass. Anyway, I'm kind of getting sick of talking about this movie. To wrap it up, Kevin makes his girl come. They fuck. Oz and the choir girl don't fuck, but they have this cute little moment and fall in love on the lake. Jimbo, after totally ruining it with Nadia, in desperation, goes to prom with this band nerd, and she absolutely fucks him. I mean, she fucks him.
What's my name? Say my name, bitch!
Michelle. Oh god.
So Finch meets Stifler's mom at the after party, and they end up hooking up because she likes her men, or her boys, I should say, like she likes her wine, aged 18 years.
Aged 18 years. The way I like it.
So what did we learn today? Well, kids, sex isn't always as fun and glamorous as it may seem. Which, honestly, isn't that bad of a message. On the horniness scale, I give this one like an 8 out of 10. So American Pie 2 starts out with the screenwriter's favorite joke, which is parents walking in on their kids doing something sexual.
Oh, there's my big guy.
Oh my god!
Oh no.
No joke, parents walking in is the punchline for like 6 or 7 jokes throughout American Pie 1 and 2.
Hey, Jimmy. Just wanted to say sweet dreams.
Oh, Jim, you're here.
I'm coming! I'm coming!
That's how I make my films. Okay, I don't make films, but if I did, they'd have a samurai.
Oh man, kids hate it when their parents walk in. This is gonna be such a good joke, it's so relatable. Let's reuse the joke every 15 minutes of screen time, hey?
Like the first film, American Pie 2 is split up into 4 different storylines between the 4 friends. So they decide to rent a beach house for the summer after their first year at college, and each friend kind of has their own agenda. Oz is now in a long-distance relationship with the choir girl Heather, so his goal is to just simply not cheat on his girlfriend. Kevin and his high school girlfriend are now broken up, but when Kevin comes back and sees her, he's starting to fall back in love with her, but she already has a boyfriend now, so there's like some complications there. And Finch, in my opinion, has the funniest character arc out of all the 4 friends. After having a sexually spiritual experience with Stifler's mom, man, that's a tongue full. Sexually spiritual experience. But anyway, so he has a sexual spiritual experience with Stifler's mom, and wants to practice like tantra or tantric sex, which in his case is essentially just like saving his orgasm for when he finally meets Stifler's mom again.
That was it. Right there. That was a pure tantric moment.
Now, remember when I said American Pie 2 is centered around Nadia coming back from Europe just to see Jimbo? Well, it is.
Guess what? I'm coming to see you at the end of summer.
All right, boys, gather around. Now, what was the lesson we learned today? That boys can do whatever they want, and the girl will always come running back. Exactly. But always remember, it's not valid sex unless it's consensual. Nadia coming to visit Jimbo has got him all stressed out. At this point, he's only had sex 1 time, and he's scared if she comes, he's going to jizz himself as soon as he sees her. So needing a little bit of practice, he turns to the band geek. After all, she is a little sexual deviant.
Say my name, bitch!
So she agrees to teach him to be better in bed, and, you know, she's a little quirky, and so are her methods. To help Jimbo not come so fast, she shoves a trumpet in his ass.
Ah, it's cold. Well, what are you doing?
I just shoved a trumpet in your ass.
Aren't instruments fun?
After playing the horn with his hole, he feels comfortable enough to get with Nadia. Nadia finally arrives, totally infatuated with Jimbo. Again, Still don't understand what the hell that's about. But just as they're about to get it on, Jimbo has this crazy realization. He's been in love with the band geek the whole time.
There's somebody else I want to be with.
You want the band geek?
Nadia, I am a band geek. I just never joined the band.
You mean to tell me that the main character doesn't fall in love with the sexy bombshell, but instead falls in love with the quirky, nerdy, smart girl? Huh. Man, what a plot twist. Now remember, ladies, if you want to have a guy fall in love with you, simply shove a trumpet up his ass.
I just shoved a trumpet in your ass.
So anyway, Jimbo goes running back to the band geek, making this huge scene.
This kid is killing me.
Suck, retard.
I'm not retarded. I'm a very special boy.
I don't care enough to go into detail about the other friends, but let's just say they all lived happily ever after. Or did they? Find out in American Pie Wedding, and American Pie Reunion, and American Pie Band Camp, and American Pie Naked Mile, and American Pie so-and-so, and American Pie this and that. And the moral of the story here is similar to the first one, except for this time it's relationships that aren't always as glamorous and fun as they might seem to be. This one toned down the horniness level just a little bit. I give it a 7 out of 10. Van Wilder was easily one of the most offensive and boring films out of the ones I've watched. All the characters sucked, and it relied on racist, sexist, and bodily fluid jokes just a little too much for me. The more Ryan Reynolds movies I watch, I realize he hasn't been in that good of films. Except, of course, Detective Pikachu.
Okay, that's it. No, we're switching roles. I'm bad cop, you're good cop.
The movie sets the tone just right with this ridiculous racist joke. Our big star of the show, Van Wilder, is getting head by an older Asian woman by the name, can't believe I'm about to fucking say this, Suck Me.
So Sook Me's a little old, but she is just so damn good.
Oh, just kidding. He wasn't getting head. It was a seamstress.
Thanks for the quick job there, Sook Me. I need these in 20 minutes.
You. Honestly, that about sums up the whole movie, but there are a few other things I want to talk about before moving on. This film definitely followed the lead of American Pie, even casting a few of the same actors. It recycled a lot of the same jokes and took the bodily fluid jokes to an entirely new level that is going to absolutely scar me for the rest of my life. As I've said before, when screenwriters think they have a good joke, they love to stretch that shit out as much as they possibly can. And that is exactly what they did with this joke. There is an excessively long scene of Van Wilder and his friend jerking off his bulldog and doing a Polaroid photo shoot. It hurts me to even say that. So the joke is they're collecting the semen from this dog and injecting them into these pastries to feed to another frat who they have beef with. And the frat guys devour these pastries.
Oh, it's so warm.
It's honestly one of the most ridiculous and grossest things I have seen on screen. Maybe it's just me, or maybe these jokes just didn't age well. That's about all I have to say for Van Wilder. Honestly, it wasn't quite as horny as I was hoping. I give this one maybe a 7 out of 10. Now, I wanted to talk about The New Guy because it arguably has one of the horniest covers out of all of them, but I feel like it falls into a whole different vein of movies. I absolutely loved this film. I thought for sure I was just going to shit on it the whole time, but I can't. And I don't even want to spoil the movie because if you haven't seen it, I want you to go out and watch it. It kind of falls in the category alongside like Joe Dirt or Hot Rod or like these character comedies. I highly recommend this movie. I'm not going to shit on it. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. Please go watch it. Okay, moving on to Out Cold. Easily the most boring movie out of these 6. Something the other movies have in common is their pacing and absurdity. Even if the other films were a little too absurd for me, they still had a good pacing that kept me engaged the whole time. Out Cold did not do that. It was trying way too hard to be a good movie and just failed miserably. It was like their plan was to take a horny movie,
throw it into a blender with a little bit of X Games action sports, and then turn that into like a Lifetime drama. Although I think the movie sucked as a whole, there were a few good moments, like when Zach Galifianakis sticks his dick into a hot tub jet and gets stuck there overnight. Or again, almost freezing to death, but this time getting his dick licked by a polar bear. Come to think of it, Zach Galifianakis has been naked with exotic animals a few times. The movie's story was so undefined and convoluted that they didn't even know how to end it, so they just like merge the bloopers with the ending. One scene was just happening and then bam, cut to bloopers. Like I didn't even realize they were bloopers for a moment. Not to mention there was a lot of blatant homophobia throughout the film. I know this was the golden age of gay panic, but it just felt a little untasteful. I give this one a homophobic rating of 7.5 out of 10. IMDb's description of Road Trip says, 4 college buddies embark on a road trip to retrieve an illicit tape mistakenly mailed to a female friend. Essentially, the main character, Josh, accidentally films a sex tape of him cheating on his girlfriend and then mails it to her somehow across the country in Boston. The movie starts out with Stifler from American Pie auctioning off girls at a frat party.
Okay, let's start the opening bidding at $5.
$3.50.
Good God, Moneybags. She's not a Happy Meal.
Apparently in 2000 that was a thing. You could buy a girl to hang out with you for the night. Damn. I was born in the wrong generation. So there's this creep who has amazing taste in t-shirts.
I can just tell you like him, that's all.
I'm not having this conversation again.
What conversation?
He was trying to buy this one girl, Beth, but Josh realizes it and outbids him.
Okay, can anyone beat $26?
I just said 30.
I mean, there's got to be someone out there who can beat $26.
Me right here, 30.
Sold! To my man Josh for $26.
Now this girl that he just purchased at the auction is real hot shit, and Stifler says it best.
I would give my life for one evening of consensual sex with that girl.
These movies bring up consensual sex as if non-consensual sex is just a readily available option for whenever they want it. Anyway, the party goes on, one thing leads to another, and Josh and Beth end up sleeping together, and Beth insists that she films it.
I have an idea. What do you say?
Oh, I don't think so.
Come on, it'll be fun.
Which is so odd to me. What girl would be so adamant on filming just a one-night fling? Well, it was the 2000s. Damn, I was born in the wrong generation. So Josh makes these cute little VHS tapes of him like singing songs and saying he loves her, and then he mails them to his girl in Boston. But this time there was a mix-up in the tapes, and he accidentally sends a sex tape to her.
I thought I asked you to mail this yesterday.
I miss you.
Yeah, you did. It was on your desk. I mailed it this morning.
Barry, fast forward to the horny stuff.
I got a girl
Is this the kind of shit you've been sending Tiffany?
named Tiffany.
Oh my god.
That's you.
Oh, fuck!
Why were you having your friends run your errands for you anyway? So now Josh and his friends embark on this road trip across the country to Boston to intercept this tape before his girlfriend gets it.
All right, so we're driving. You coming? What else am I gonna do? Stay here and learn?
On the way, they have a whole bunch of fun and get into a lot of trouble. Boys will be boys. Meanwhile, Beth finds out that Josh lied to her and he actually does have a girlfriend.
Have you seen Josh?
He went to visit his girlfriend.
Tiffany? I thought they broke up.
At first, she's a little upset, but not for long, because girls will always come running back to you. Right, boys? So back on the road, the boys manage to make it to Boston, and Josh and his girlfriend end up coming to this mutual agreement that they're going to cut off their relationship anyway. Aw, sad. But don't worry, he's got that one lovely lady he purchased at auction patiently waiting for him back at college. Not only is she waiting for him, but she's also risking jail time and a potential felony for him. On the boys' route back to college, Josh is running late for his final exam, so Beth decides to call in a bomb threat to stall the exam.
You weren't back in time for the exam, so I called in the bomb threat.
I mean, That D must be pretty damn good if she's willing to risk prison time for his ass.
Josh and Beth make out, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. So, what do we take away from this film? 1, it's totally cool to cheat on your girlfriend, and 2, you actually can buy love, and it's only $26 at an auction. Look, I know what some of y'all are thinking.
These movies aren't supposed to be taken seriously. They're just for laughs. They're supposed to be absurd.
Yes, I know most people aren't going to walk away from this film and think, damn, maybe I should cheat on my girlfriend, and then I'm going to poison my best friend with laxatives. But there are people out there, especially teen boys, who these movies were primarily made for, that might watch them and unconsciously or subconsciously come out with a skewed perception on sex, relationship, or women. There's a really good scene in Road Trip that sort of relates to this. I can't really show it on screen because it contains a lot of nudity. There are a bunch of girls butt-ass naked in a changing room chatting about how awful it would be if boys and men had it their way all the time. Slowly, their voices begin to fade away while the camera is slowly panning on their boobs. Even the guys in charge of making this type of media acknowledge and are aware of how one-sided these films are. They've created this distorted reality that favors straight white men and allows them to do whatever they want and still finish on top. Oh, and boobies. Man, I was born in the wrong generation. Okay, I'm done getting all PC on this shit. Regardless of my opinion, the stories and jokes in these films worked well. People loved them and they were a wild success. American Pie 1 and 2 had huge sales at the box office and grossed hundreds of millions of dollars. But the fad quickly started to die down, especially around the time American Wedding came out in 2003. Sales started dropping. Studios started pumping these films out like crazy. They were doing spin-offs and copycats that were just going straight to home video. It didn't take long for the producers to realize that they were exhausting this genre of film. Around 2005 and 2006, you'll notice a drastic tone shift in teen comedies. Not only in the context of the film itself, but in the way that they were marketed. Big studio films like Accepted and Superbad left behind the horny posters and the horny covers and took a new approach. They focused a little bit more on characters and story development. The plots became more relatable and tangible, unlike their predecessors, which stories were merely just a catalyst for horniness. I'm not saying that these films weren't horny, because they definitely were, but they had just a little bit more going for them. To sum it up, teen movies are always evolving. They're beginning to deal with real-life situations, but still maintaining that funny and horny energy that everyone loves. Okay, I have talked plenty. I am going to wrap it up now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'm a small channel, so just like one comment, one like, one subscribe is huge for me. See you next time.